What's happening?
I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Nick, and this is Just Fine, the show where we feature a product that earns a recommendation but comes in at an affordable price.
Good enough. Welcome back, guys. So today on Just Fine, covering something pretty extraordinary in my opinion, especially the value of it, and that is Nick's 2002 BMW E39 530i.
That is correct.
It's a cool car. It's a cool car. For obviously for what it is, it's not. Is it the world's most unbelievable, desirable vehicle at this point in time, or even when it was new? No, but that's not the point of Just Fine. To me, the whole idea of this show is something that offers an extraordinary value, but is still very much one of the finer things, and especially at what you paid. This does that, but even for standard used car prices, what did you pay?
So I paid $700 for that car.
Yeah, that's inexpensive. That's a pretty exceptional. That's a pretty exceptional value.
Well, considering that, irrespective of mileage, which I'm sure we'll get to in a moment, that's obviously very, very low. Those cars typically go for what we were looking somewhere between like $2,000
less
and
than $6,000. Yeah. Usually more than $2,000, less than $6,000, depending on the condition.
Yeah, just
if
based
it's sub
on a quick
$2,000.
search. Yeah, pretty.
Think about it.
Pretty questionable.
Yeah, but if it's above $6,000, maybe if it's like super mint, but otherwise I don't see the value in that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Certainly. So, quick backstory on the E39. E39 is from the 1997 to 2003 era, and this particular model is the 530i, which features a 3-liter inline-6 engine. It's the M54 designation for those enthusiasts out there. Features 225 horsepower and 215 foot-pounds of torque, so fairly respectable. Nothing crazy, of course, but it'll get you up a hill for sure. They retailed for right around $41,000 back in 2002. So not an inexpensive car by that standard.
Sure. By the MSRP. Especially considering for inflation, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
probably upwards of 60, 70.
Yeah, probably up in the 60s. I would, if I had to guess. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. For what it is, I'm really happy with the build quality. I'm happy with the solid sort of feel that it has.
Yeah, and that is where, to me, it's such an unbelievable value, because generally speaking, all right, let's forget new inexpensive cars. We're not going to compare the BMW 5 Series to a Mitsubishi Mirage. What I do think it's worth comparing it to, though, is other inexpensive cars you get used that were of decent quality. If you look at just older Japanese vehicles or some American vehicles that you can pick up for the $1,000, $2, $3, $4, even $10,000, like a somewhat modern Toyota or Honda or whichever. Not that those are bad products. I have a lot of love in my heart for something. You have less love in your heart, I know. In general.
Well, I've never owned a Japanese car. I'll put it to you that way.
And I've had a couple. But regardless, my point is, though, that there is just an element of the attention to detail, the quality of the wood inlays and the stitching on the doors, the thunk when you sort of close any of the doors or even the trunk lid, stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
That it's just oh yeah, regardless of what I paid for this was a luxury German vehicle.
Yep, for sure. The styling, it's very stately yet understated. It's not over the top. People aren't going to look at it and be completely blown away unless they know what it is that they're looking for.
Sure,
really,
sure.
I'd say, that's definitely something. And what really drew me to it was the fact that it's for such for a car of its size, it is a driver's car. It's every bit a driver's car. Is it going to keep up with coupes and sports cars and stuff like that? Absolutely not. I mean, it's a full size sedan, for crying out loud. But
yeah, no, it's look, it's got the modern amenities. The standard things even for that era, like power windows and locks and anti-theft devices and stuff like that. But what it also has, obviously updated it with a pretty run of the mill upgraded stereo sort of console.
Yeah, that was the previous owner actually who did the updating there. But definitely it was a Kenwood unit that does Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and I will say it's tremendously utilitarian. Like it just allows me to accomplish so much more on the road. If I'm on a long road trip, I can have phone conversations, I can dictate text messages, do GPS navigation, which the car did not come with originally, although it was an option actually as early as the 1994 7 Series was the first to offer GPS navigation. It's pretty cool. BMW first there. But anyway, so that was an option, but my car didn't come with it. So the stereo system definitely helped out there.
Yeah, and there are also just other like understated but like elegant elements of the vehicle. Things like the wheel design. I don't know, like the
memory seats are nice.
Oh yeah, that's another like modern amenity that you kind of take for granted with newer cars. But up until not that long ago was only really the really luxury oriented cars that had all those things.
Yep.
And even memory, steering wheel placement and stuff like that, and
yep.
Even just little niceties like the quality of and just like kind of the robust looking of the hood emblem, the larger sort of like metal BMW.
Yeah, the 62 millimeter roundel.
Yeah.
No, that is certainly a nice touch, and it's a really great styled car. It's a really great driving car. In my case, the value worked out really well. Just because I got it very, very inexpensively. I should mention the miles. I don't even think we've mentioned the number of miles that are on the car. So one of the things that is very impressive, and you'll see in some of the footage that we're showing of my car here. It's not in perfect shape, of course, but it's okay. Most people look at it and think, okay, well, maybe this car is upwards of 150, 170, maybe 200,000 miles, depending on what you know about cars and what you're looking at, so on and so forth. But the car actually has 293,000 miles on it.
That's
unless
far.
Unless you're looking at the odometer, it's not an easy thing to tell. You look at it and it's like, no, that does not seem like it's falling apart to the respect that I would think.
To be fair, you got it for a good price. What is overall wrong with it by your observation?
Yeah, sure. So current issues. So the previous owner went in and replaced the power steering box, the original power steering box, with an aftermarket one because he thought that there was something wrong with the original power steering box. So he replaced that, and then that power steering box ended up failing, so the car doesn't have any power steering. Is that a fault of the car? No, not really. I fault the previous owner, to be very honest, and it's on my list of things to accomplish. It's just a little on the pricey side to get. In fact, I can measure repairs by how many of my car it's going to take to make the repair. In this case, it's about 1.25 of my cars to end up doing the repair there. So I'm not looking forward to that, but it is something I will eventually get done. I will say though, not having power steering in a car, the way that it feels outside of like parallel parking, of course, that's terrible. But the way that it feels down the road, like you are directly connected to the road. It's really cool. There's no like artificial enhancement. It's pretty nifty. So that's one issue. At the moment, there is a leak from the oil pan gasket, and the oil pan gasket is it's another one of those difficult things to repair. It's not a significant leak; like I have to put in a liter of oil every 1,000 miles or so, give or take. So it's not anything crazy, but it's annoying enough for sure.
You could have driven to the moon.
I could have. I didn't, but I could have.
Yeah, I was looking that up. By 238,900 miles, I think that's what the number was.
Wow, so
a bit more
to the moon and then getting
across
on my way
the country
back there.
A few times. Yeah. I find weird, dumb things like that entertaining.
That is fun.
Yeah.
And let's see, the oil pan gasket. We had the power steering box there. There's these little brackets that connect the rear sway bar to the chassis of the car. And those are like really rusty and old, and they make squeaking sounds because the sway bar, when it goes over bumps, like it's moving, it's a live piece, and those brackets kind of hold it in place so it doesn't move around too much. And anyway, those brackets are sufficiently rusted and just shot to the point where they're just making a lot of noise and creaking, and it's just it's an annoying thing. Again, on my list of things to get done there. That.
Sorry, I don't have to cut you off there.
No, it's all good.
It's like a joke I have with a friend of mine. Him and I both also like car enthusiasts and stuff like that, and we have like this ongoing joke of like, okay, I'm actually car shopping at the moment, kind of deciding what I want, and it's like we talk about all these different cars, and what we always end up landing back on is if it doesn't burn oil, it's probably not that interesting, and I don't want it.
I mean, that's probably true. That's probably true. That's fair. I mean, I don't know of many cars, even brand new, where if they didn't burn or consume oil in some way, they sucked.
Yes,
they actually sucked. It's really something. I do want to highlight something that's very important: maintenance versus repairs. Right. So like. An easy example, a repair would be, okay, I backed into a curb and I have to replace my rear bumper, versus maintenance, which is, okay, it's been 6,500 miles, I have to perform an oil service to the car.
Sure.
Right? Two very different things there. The car has undergone a lot of maintenance, I'm not crazy about maintaining my car, but I try to keep to some decent regimen anyway. And the repairs, the genuine repairs I've had to make to my car thus far have been kind of few and far between, surprisingly. There was this one hose that went to some sort of charcoal filter that affected the emissions of the car, but didn't actually affect the fuel economy or the way it drove. It was just, it threw a check engine light, so I had to get that fixed, and that was like $400. That was like the least amount of fun that I've had with my car so far. Maintenance wise, though, I put brakes on it. Brakes cost me almost 2 cars. You like that?
Yeah, because they're not normal brakes.
They're normal-ish, but they're not like they're not the run of the mill. They are they're StopTech street pads and the slotted rotors, which they're very good. They're very good brakes, and I'm happy with them. But yeah, it cost almost 2 cars to get that done.
That measurement.
Yeah. But still, the way I see it, any car that size with that level of performance, if it needs brakes, probably going to end up having to put that into it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it'd be like that, or even worse with newer cars now that they have much larger rotors, larger pads.
It'd be like that.
It does be like that. In fact, it's good. I like that. But yeah, I think that covers it. We miss anything?
You can open all your windows at once.
I think we'll have some footage of that. I can close them all at once too.
Can you?
I can. I programmed that myself.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really something. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode of Just Fine. We really hope you enjoyed, and if you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, definitely give us a like. Subscribe to our channel if you want to hear about more interesting videos that Ahmed and I end up putting together for you there. Maybe one day we'll get to cover Ahmed's imaginary car. It'd be really great.
Yeah. Whenever I actually end up getting one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just I've been hemming and hawing for a long time.
He just turned 16. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'll be 14 next year.
Hop in the comments section below. Let us know what you think. Tell me what a piece of crap my car is. I definitely enjoy that. It'd be a lot of fun.
It is. But it's a stately piece of crap.
Stately piece of crap.